Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to Southern Sports Network. I'm Taylor Gillis.
And I'm Kara Donnelly, here to update you on the latest in moccasin sports news. The men's basketball team lost at Eckerd 98-82 last weekend. Michael Volovic led the Mocs in scoring with 20, followed by Jeremiah Davis with 12. This brought the Mocs to 11 wins and 17 losses for the year. They will have a rematch against Eckerd in the first round of the Sunshine State Conference tournament tonight at 7:30. The women's basketball team also lost to Eckerd with the score of 68-63 on Saturday. This loss brings the Lady Mocs to 19-8 for the year. Camille Giardina scored 18 points and had 5 rebounds in the loss. The ladies also play tonight here in Lakeland against St. Leo. This would be the first round of the Sunshine State Conference tournament.
The baseball team traveled to Tigertown last week to take on the Detroit Tigers in their annual spring training exhibition game. Here's Adriana Cole with more. After playing against the big league team, the Mocs traveled to the Boca Raton to take on Lynn University in a 3-game series. In Friday's game, Florida Southern started off strong with catcher Austin Muir to hit a grand slam in the first inning, but just wasn't quite enough compared to 6-run 7th inning from the Knights, ending the game with a score of 14-8 in favor of Lynn. In Saturday's game, outfielder Van Brown had a home run in the 3rd inning, and Cody Burgess hit the 5th home run of the season. But Lynn University had a total of 15 hits, including 4 home runs, closing the game with a 14-5 victory for the Knights. During the game 2 on Saturday, senior Kevin Fuller hit his 2nd homer of the season over the right field fence. And then in the 6th inning, Mitch Reeves tied the game with the 5th home run of the season. Unfortunately, the Knights were unable to score 4 runs in the bottom of the 7th to finish the game, a 10-6 win for Lynn University. The men returned home on Tuesday to take on Flagler, who started off strong, scoring 4 runs in the 1st inning and another 4 runs in the 2nd inning. The Mocs were unable to get a total of 4 runs on the board, 2 of them from home run hit by Mitch Reeves in the bottom of the 8th, but it just wasn't quite enough. The game ended with a 9-4 loss for Florida Southern. You can catch the Mocs again on Friday night at 6 p.m. against Minnesota State, Mankato, and Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. Both games will be at Henley Field.
The Lady Mocs softball team also struggled this weekend against Lynn. They won Friday night's series opener with a score of 4-3, but lost both of Saturday's games. In Friday's game, the ladies won the 7th inning after just 3 pitches. Desiree Klump and Shannon Bell each had triples, and Erica Moresi finished up the game with an RBI sacrifice fly to score Bell. On Saturday, the women lost both games by 1 run, with the Knights coming from behind both wins. The first game had a final score of 3-2. The second game finished with a score of 2-1, with the only run being scored by Shannon Bell. The women's lacrosse team returned from Illinois with 2 victories. Friday's pair of games started off rough, with the Mocs down by 2 goals in the first half, but they came back for blood. They struck for 4 goals in less than a minute and beat McDendry 18-14. Less than 3 minutes into the second game, Riley Bannatyne made the first goal of the Mocs' 19-6 victory against Rockhurst. Sunday's lacrosse game against Lindenwood was not so easy. Lindenberg started off strong in the first 5 minutes of the game, striking down to score. However, Kendall Kirk fought back, leaving the score 2-1 as the game progressed. The Lions took the upper hand. The Mocs made 3 goals in the final minute of the game, but that still wasn't enough to save them. The Lions roared to their victory 14-11.
FSC men's lacrosse team scored their first win of the season against Wingate on February 24th with a score of 9-7. The Moccasins had the Bulldogs played each other 7 of the past 8 years. The Mocs have now played at Wingate 4 times, holding a 3-1 record there. The team went on to play Queens at the away game in Charlotte 2 days later. Queens, too, had an early lead, scoring 4 goals in the first quarter, and the Mocs were unable to ever take the lead. The final score was 17-8, leaving the Moccasins with a 1-2 record after their third game. The men returned home on Tuesday in a dramatic fashion with a 13-12 upset over Lake Erie, the 17th ranked team in the nation. The Mocs scored 4 goals early but allowed 6 from the Storm soon after. The rest of the game was back and forth battle between the two teams before the Mocs came out on top. Colin Bear scored 3 of the goals for the Mocs.
The women's tennis team faced off against Florida Tech at Melbourne on Friday. The Mocs won all 3 of their double matches and 3 of their single matches. Lorena Rionda clinched FSC's victory with a 6-4 win over Maria Chun. The women came back on Tuesday to battle it out with Eckert. Lorena Rionda and Mega Stepnik got the first victory of the day with an 8-2 win against Eckert. Natalia Popovic sealed the win in singles match for the Mocs, second consecutive win. Their first home match is tomorrow at 3 p.m. against Tampa. The men's tennis team was also successful this past weekend against Eckert, winning 6-3. FSC won all 3 of the doubles matches and 3 of the singles. This was the first win for the men. Thank you for joining us in this edition of Southern Sports Network. I'm Kara Donnelly.
And I'm Taylor Gillis. Join us next week for more. Yay.